Chidi and Njokuani and Gregory Rodrigues, also known as the President of the United States. Gregory Rodrigues, man. This dude, Barack Obama Rodrigues, RoboCop Rodrigues, is legit. And he doesn't look like he's a young fighter, but he is pretty young, in the prime of his MMA career at 30 years and 7 months old. By the look of him, I mean, he reminds you of Barack Obama, who's like in his 50s or 60s. The dude looks pretty old in his face, but his body definitely looks 30 years old. His striking looks 30 years old. His wrestling, his grappling looks 30 years old. He's very young in his MMA career and is going to have a little bit of an age advantage over Chidi and Njokuani. But with the age advantage for Gregory Rodrigues comes, well, the experience advantage for Chidi and Njokuani with a total of 29 professional MMA fights. And this is going to be an interesting one. We're going to do my prediction for the fight, which if you watch my prediction video, you'll already know, but we'll break it down and then we'll look at the betting odds for the best possible bet value-wise for this fight between RoboCop and Chidi Bang Bang. So first off, we're going to go with the prediction. Who do I think wins this fight between Gregory Rodrigues and Chidi and Njokuani? Well, it's simple. I'm going to go the underdog in Gregory Rodrigues, sitting at plus 110, plus 108 on most betting odds site. The height is going to be very even. The reach advantage does go Chidi and Njokuani. The power advantage goes Chidi and Njokuani. But Gregory Rodrigues has very unrelenting pressure. He comes forward, puts on the pace, puts on the pressure on his opponents, gets their back to the cage, and just starts throwing big shots. Starts swinging and banging like Tai Bam Bam Tuivasa in the heavyweight division. Looking to crack that chin. So I know Chidi Bang Bang is probably going to go out there and do very good in round number 1. But after round number 1, I would have to side with Gregory Rodrigues. The reason being is Chidi is very good early on. When he's able to counter very easily in round number 1, defend the takedowns a little bit easier in round number 1, he's going to do very well. I mean, Gregory Rodrigues, Chidi and Njokuani. Round 1, Chidi's going to be looking amazing in that first round, landing all sorts of counters, catching Gregory with jabs as he's coming in, check left hooks, right hooks, left hooks, over and over again. In round number 1, my prediction is not going to be looking too good after the first round between Chidi and Njokuani and Gregory Rodrigues, but I think round 2 is where Gregory's going to start to wear on the gas tank of Chidi and Njokuani. If you don't know, Gregory Rodrigues is a very good judo practitioner, has very solid Brazilian jiu-jitsu as well. Out of his 12 professional MMA wins, 6 of them are by knockout because he recently fell in love with his hands, knocking out Al Matavayo, Josh Frem, Junyon Park, as well as Julian Marquez. So he has fell in love with his hands recently. But if you look at his early career, first round armbar, second round submission, first round armbar. He was getting lots of submissions early on in his career, and that is the game plan that I think Gregory could use here. Do I think he's going to submit Chidi and Njokuani on the ground? No, but it is possible. Chidi and Njokuani has been submitted in a lot of his losses. John Salter, about 2 to 3 years ago, it was a rear naked choke loss. Jeremy Kimball, rear naked choke submission loss, and he has been submitted in about half of his professional MMA losses. So the path to victory is there for Gregory Rodrigues to take the fight down, grapple and wrestle, use the judo throws in the clinch situations to get on top of Chidi, ground and pound, and possibly get the back of Chidi Bang Bang and Njokuani and get a rear naked choke submission. But like I said, I don't see it happening. I don't see a submission here. If there's a finish, it'll most likely be a Chidi and Njokuani counter TKO or a ground and pound TKO win due to Chidi just being gassed in round 2, round 3, and Rodrigues just landing hook after hook after hook and getting that TKO win. That's the only way I see a finish here. But I'm not actually going to be leaning for the fight to be a finish. I legitimately think this fight goes all the way. Round 1 goes Chidi and Njokuani to counter Gregory Rodrigues as he's coming in, looking for big shots, looking to get the fight to the clinch. Round 2 goes Gregory Rodrigues, because although Chidi Njokuani is landing some good shots on the feet, well, Gregory is going to be landing some very good knees in the clinches, some elbows in the clinch, some hooks to the body in the clinch situations, wearing on the gas tank of Chidi Njokuani. He will mix in some trip takedowns, some judo throws, and things like that, just to kind of wear on Chidi Njokuani. I think he'll slightly edge out round number 2, and then round number 3 is the round I see there's a very good possibility that Gregory could get a TKO win due to how gassed I think Chidi Njokuani will be. But that third and final round, I think Gregory will just continue with the pressure, continue with the clinching, continue with the absolute grinding in the clinch of Chidi Njokuani, mixing in some more takedowns, some ground and pound, put it on the pressure in round number 3. And I think Gregory wins that round as well to edge out a close 29-28 decision. Gregory Rodrigues just fought a better striker, arguably, than Chidi Njokuani and Arman Petrosian, and Arman arguably lost that fight. I personally thought Gregory Rodrigues should have got the win in that fight with Arman Petrosian, and Gregory was able to keep the striking very, very even with Arman Petrosian, mix in the takedowns, and in my opinion, win that fight. Arman's a better striker than Chidi, in my opinion, when it comes to volume and things like that. Chidi might hit a little bit harder than Arman, but I don't think that's going to matter too much here. But what do y'all think? Who wins, Chidi Njokuani or Gregory Rodrigues? Very close fight when it comes to the betting odds, because the odds have flipped multiple times for this fight. Started with Chidi Njokuani as a slight favorite at minus 145. Immediately had Chidi going to minus 101 for about like a week or two right there. He was an underdog for quite a while. Gregory was at minus 119 for a good minute there, but then immediately after that, all the money came in on Chidi Njokuani. So first and foremost, again, my prediction is Gregory Rodrigues by a decision. Betting wise, the best things to do for this fight is going to be just a straight up Gregory Rodrigues by decision prop, which is my exact prediction. Plus 550, plus 500 is insane value in my opinion. I think Chidi Njokuani is a super tough guy, and if Gregory makes this a gritty fight, pressuring fight, he could definitely get that decision. So that is the most valuable bet out of this entire fight. The other one is obviously just going to be these straight underdog bets on Gregory Rodrigues at plus 108. Other than that, I would have to go. Rodrigues scorecards no action is at minus 180 right now. I'm assuming there's probably going to be some better odds on other bookies and things like that. But if you can get to like minus 150 on Rodrigues scorecards no action, it could be worthwhile, but I would say no to that one because it's still a little bit iffy on Gregory Rodrigues, because Chidi Njokuani has power. He's on a 4-fight knockout streak inside and outside of the UFC, and Gregory got knocked out by Jordan Williams and got knocked out by Bruno Lopez, so I take it back. I don't actually want to do that bet that I was talking about. Scorecards, no action. I don't want to do it. The only bets to make here are the decision prop for Rodrigues, or it is going to have to be just the straight money line on Gregory Rodrigues. But those are my thoughts for UFC Fight Night. Njokuani versus Rodrigues. It's not the actual fight night, but that is the prediction. That is the breakdown, and those are my betting tips. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Subscribe. We're trying to hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of Halloween. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next one.